Hello everyone, it's Amanda here. I am bringing my first speed build to you. It's a Georgian Manor style home. It's not completely historical, so you could totally play this with more modern Sims, but I would go in and add computers and TVs and stuff. Right now there's not a lot of electronics. I think the most electronic thing there is maybe a radio or something. I think I put in the old gramophone in the little sunroom party area that I made. Anyway, so I'm just getting the layout built out and the roofing set up. I am pretty new to building in The Sims 4, or I should say relatively new to building The Sims 4. I'm still a lot more comfortable with The Sims 3, so this is a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning in this video. You can see me struggling with the wall heights and trying to figure out how to place tiles on the diagonal and how to use the move objects on sheet throughout this video. It's sped up pretty quickly, so it shouldn't take away from enjoying the speed build, but you will notice those things throughout the video. And I think that part of sharing these is sharing my learning process. So this house is based on a real house in Niagara-on-the-Lake. We went there for my birthday last week, and we saw this beautiful, beautiful inn, and we just had to record the address and the name of the place so that I could build it when I got home. So here I am putting in the back patio of the house. It's I wanted to have a great outdoor party space, so that I just wanted to have lots of party spaces in this. I wanted to be able to have a very social family living here, maybe people who are going to be part of the new politician career, if they have campaign parties. I remember in Sims 3 I loved having the big campaign parties and raising money and having all the rich friends come over. There's a lot of party space. There's a lot of skill building areas as well. This would do really well if you have a later end legacy going on. There's a music room. There is a library and a study separately. There's lots of things to do for more creative Sims. There's a gardening area out back, a little, I should be putting that in shortly here, a greenhouse. Oh, here it comes. And barbecue area is pretty modern, but I decided to add that in so that it would be there if you wanted it. It's the easiest thing to delete if you think it's too modern, but I wanted to have a little barbecue area in there. Alright, so moving inside, I'm adding in the formal dining room here, and it's pretty simple. I wanted to make this house as uncluttered as I could. I love clutter, and sometimes I go overboard, but I really wanted to not have it be as laggy as some of the other gigantic houses are, especially when you get into a lot of decoration, and especially when you have rooms like, I try not to have too much of this, but there is that pantry there, which is basically a decorative room. Okay, so here I'm going into the drawing room. This is a great place to have people over and play music and play cards and just entertain indoors. It's sort of the main living area, and it is powder blue and yellow. I saw a lot of reference photos that had this color scheme, and I thought it was pretty awesome. You're getting a brief glimpse of the study here. I don't think I captured that on camera. I had some issues with OBS. My own issues, my own fault, not OBS's fault. But I made a couple mistakes and missed recording that room. But it's not that, you didn't miss too much. It's books and stuff, so blah. But there will be screenshots on the blog, and you'll be able to go and take a look at how it looks before you download it. So in the drawing room here, you can see those two bookshelves. Those will lead into the library, a kind of a cozy spot for reading, as opposed to the study, which is a place to work. The study is specifically for working, or if somebody comes over, there's a door right off of the main entrance. So if someone comes for an appointment or anything like that, they can go right into the study or the office. This library is more a place to relax and read and snuggle up by the fire. And share a book with a friend or something, come in there for a good heart-to-heart talk. It is pretty spacious. I wanted to have just a little nook hidden away, but I did make sure it was spacious enough that a couple Sims could get in there and wander around without feeling stuck. Alright, so I'm going to the foyer. I wasn't sure what to do with the foyer. It was kind of a boring square. I end up adding in closets to the side, and it gives the entrance a bit of dimension, and it's not just an empty rectangle. And it gives me a little corner to tuck stuff into. So I end up doing that. You can see me putting those in there, and adding in a little seating area for people who are just coming by to wait on somebody here. That powder blue color, which is used a lot. I'm going vanilla, totally vanilla, with as many builds as I can going forward, because I want to be able to share them with everybody without them having to go hunt down custom content. So I did end up using that powder blue pattern a lot because it matches a lot of the things that are in the base game. So I end up using that sort of powder blue style. Alright, moving upstairs, we've lit up the landing and added in some wallpaper, and I'm lighting up all the rooms. And I think that I start with the girls' room. I did make the kids' room that I made is definitely a more feminine room, but it would be really easy to update. It's just that it's very easy to match pink with pink in The Sims 4, so I just went with the path of least resistance here. I was originally going to put a baby crib in there, and then I decided to make a separate nursery because I had the space. And I would rather have a really good spot for a really good room for two kids in here, so they both have a spot to do their homework. They both have a half of the room basically, and you could do the old Sims 2 advertisement of the pleasant kids, where you just put a string of tape down the middle and have one side all dark and one side all cute. There's space for that. And the girls do have their own bathroom off to the side here. It's nothing special. I am not that great at making bathrooms look nice, especially with vanilla Sims. I don't know, there's not a lot there. I ended up using some kitchen cabinetry to make it look a little bit more interesting in here. But to be honest, this is the most interesting bathroom in the entire house. What can I say? They go there to shower and pee, so it's not a big deal. I just try and make it look immersive and not just an empty room. Alright, so finishing up here, just adding some art on the wall. Oh, I guess mirrors. Forgot about that. Filmed this a little while ago, so I forgot. Adding in decals, or decals if you will. And now I'm heading over to the first spare bedroom. I did the two spare bedrooms the same. I mean, you could use these for a teen or a grandparent room or something like that. They're really cute. I actually like these spare rooms better than I like the master bedroom. I guess just because they're really quaint and cozy, and the color schemes are great. This one's yellow and blue again, like a lot of the rest of the house, but the other bedroom is red and brown, like a spice brown, which I thought was really nice as well. But this totally looks like I can totally see going into a bed and breakfast or an Airbnb and seeing that kind of room, just adding in hearths to all the rooms there. So yeah, I could totally see me. I would really like if I went into an Airbnb or a bed and breakfast and it looked like that. Alright, just adding in the bathroom, and I think the other guest room, or the other room, the ensuite bathroom, is just a mirror of this one. I think I just used the eyedropper tool to go back and forth. Alright, so here's that red and spice brown bedroom. It's again very cozy, and I used the Vincent van Gogh bed there. There's liberal use of by debug objects in here. So sorry about that. Alright, so adding in some chairs and a little dresser. Perfect. And the hearth, which I forgot for a lot of them, but then I did a little while ago. I went back and did all the fireplaces. And I do add a fire or a chimney, but it does not line up with any of the fireplaces. So, bleh, whoops. Here I wanted to have a 4-poster bed or some type of something that would add some dimension or some, like 3D physicality to the bed, but I ended up and I wanted to have a cover on it. That's what I'm trying to do here with these carpets and things, trying to find a cover, but they became transparent. So I ended up just going with the curtains and making a 4-poster bed that way. I guess I'm happy with it. I'm gonna look in to see how other people have done that using vanilla base game objects. I'm such a CC person. I've always used CC, so not using it is a big challenge, and I think that this house was a great way not just to learn a little bit more of the ins and outs of using The Sims 4, but also of working with what the game gives you and not giving up and downloading CC, which is my normal go-to. I'm like, oh, it's difficult to make a 4-poster bed with curtains. I guess I'll go download one from wherever. So this has been a great exercise, and I don't know if the next house I do will be this big. I've done a couple big builds recently. I did the trailer park, and then I've done this, which are just huge builds that take me, hours. And I think that I might go for a small starter house or a cottage or something like that. I really love doing little houses. All right, we're coming back into the master bedroom, throwing in an office area, and I think I cram a bookshelf there in the corner. And put in my favorite little office lamp there, and I think that I go through adding a couple different skill objects on that one tile by the door, and then ultimately just add a decorative item, because I realize that we have a whole music room to go, and they have an office and a study, and I don't think they really need and there's a workbench and a painting easel out by the greenhouse, by the gazebo, so they don't really need all that in the bedroom. All right, adding in another room here, I decided to put in a servant's room, so you could have your nanny or your butler or cleaning lady or something staying in here. And I tried to make it cozy because I thought this was the kind of house where they'd be really nice to their staff and the people who help them. So I made sure it was kind of a cozier room with some personal touches. You could easily turn this into a second bedroom for kids or something like that if you have more kids, or you wanted to add in another room. Again, this is a great house if you're having a legacy. It's a very wide layout, very uncluttered, very easy for the Sims to get from point A to point B, and lots of space for skills. You could turn one of these rooms. So I'm adding in the nursery here. There's a nursery and the servants' rooms. You could easily turn one of these into a gym or into whatever skill building they would have. So you could have your little evil lair in here, or you could have whatever you wanted. Okay, adding in a pretend change table. It seems kind of futile adding in a nursery to The Sims 4, but I just went for it. I just wanted it to fit, and I mean, using The Sims 4, you use a lot of imagination, so I figured might as well put in a nice big nursery and keep the crying babies away from all the other rooms. Alright, finishing up there, I'm going into the music room now. I was going to put more skill objects there, like the easel, and then I thought the same thing as I did in the master bedroom. We don't really need all that skill building stuff there. And also this way the kids can learn to play the violin without irritating everybody. Alright, adding in some chairs and decorative items. And I did use the sugar skull rack there. I thought it was really cool looking with the dark wood, so I thought I would use that. I think it's free in the patch, so hopefully it's not a pain in the ass to get that, or a pain in the tush to get that. Okay, so this is the second last room that I do. This is a sunroom that, instead of having it just a big empty hallway, I thought it would be a great spot to have an event or a party indoors where you can dance and have food. And if you wanted to use the entire, if you're going to throw a huge party, you could have that drawing room for people to hang out in. You could have this sunroom, and then people can go outside to the outdoor bar and pool area. So it's a very easy flow, and your guests don't have to go through all your personal rooms. They can just go right through to the back from the front entrance, and then from there they can also reach the formal dining room and the drawing room. So, and they also have access to the powder rooms there on the main floor. So I think that this is a really great layout for parties. So I really hope that I can see some people doing some fancy parties in this house, or maybe I'll throw a fancy party in this house. All right, so I wanted that wall to be not really that decorated, so I ended up putting curtains there. I thought maybe they would, during an event, they would block off certain rooms with certain doors with the curtains, or hide, utility panels or something like that behind the curtains. So I've seen that a lot in a lot of event spaces, so I put the curtains up there. Here I am adding clocks to all the rooms. I always forget to add clocks, and I think they're a great detail, so I just was adding them in there. Okay, so I don't think there's an actual buffet style table in the Sims 4 where you can serve food, so I just added a banquet table and some banquet chairs there, so you could set out whatever food you want. And then I added those signatures up above the doorway to make it look more like an event space. And I think this would be a great public lot as well, if you wanted to tweak it a little bit to make it more of a park, like the Von Haunt estate. Okay, and this is the last room that I'm doing here. It's a kids area. I added this in, well, I had added the little house in earlier on, but I knew that I wanted a place that seemed a little more homey, so I added in a spot for the kids' toys that's near the balcony, so they can hang out there, and yeah. Okay, so it looks like that's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. I have some Hidden Child challenge stuff coming out, and thanks so much for listening to me ramble for 20 minutes. Cheers, bye-bye.